Wagwan, Mr. Maps.
Happy birthday to me.
Chief, personally, no, you've picked the wrong platform.
Hey fam, me, I am here because it's my birthday. Well, not today. In a couple of hours, though. You know, did you see? I don't know who the comedian's name is at the Kanyimbawa roast. When he was making fun of Nadia.
Poor Pops. You should check out his stuff.
Oh man, that dude is
funny. He's really funny.
Yo.
No, you should actually check out like all his other like stand up. Like I think he is right up there.
Does he have stand up on Netflix?
Yeah, he's got a few things on Netflix. He's also got a couple on. If you go on YouTube, you'll find what he did for what's his name's roast? For Somizi's roast. Oh. He did like the opening segment for Somizi's roast. No, some Poor Pops is hilarious.
Oh, okay.
He's funny.
Yeah, no. I saw just that little snippet alone, bro. KO'd, bro. KO'd Nadia. That shit was so funny, bro. I was like, what? I didn't even know
think the fact that it was
Sim. And then he started, I was like, nah, fam, nah. That's rude. That's very rude.
And then I saw the happy birthday. But it's like I always say, right? The hard tongue.
Yeah.
And the hard tongue will always, it's little things that will always sell us out. Even if you think you're going to try blend in wherever country you're going to, and you wake up one day, now we are Teta, there's going to be like a little word which will tengisa you. So you, like you said, birthday. We know.
I always
and then at the end of it, he's like, "What comes after 59?"
Yeah. Oh no, that was fucked up. I was like, nah. That's it. And the way he started laughing, bro, that's a disrespectful laugh, fam. But I was saying with you, I always think about Jinimbi's Dokuze in his video where this got the Christmas item where it's Jesus' birthday. He says birthday. It's not your birthday. It's Jesus' birthday. Man, R.I.P. the GOAT, man. R.I.P. the GOAT. But guys, welcome back. It's another episode of 6 Foot Weights. Right off the top. Oh, actually, your favorite hour with your favorite cheese boys. My name is Tabo.
My name is Esona.
And yeah, we're back again for a very short period of time because the board of trustees of 6 Foot Weights have told me specifically that this one has to be short. It's a week of celebrations. A lot of things. This is a big week, man. It's like I don't like when occasions are bunched together in general for myself, because I just mentioned to you off air 3 things. It's the anniversary of when we started dating, the Lobola anniversary, and then my birthday. It's just so much going on where it's like, my birthday week, I like it to be just about me, just like, one chorus, but then now it's like leading into my birthday. I have to be like, oh my God, babe, I love you too. And
there's extras.
No, we're like, why am I celebrating something else? No. It must be what? It must be God forbid.
Because you don't think about these things strategically.
Birthdays close to you. That's terrible. That's like, nah, fam.
Right. I just had to close the door because of what I'm about to say, Mr. Matt.
Okay.
Have you never heard of strategic dating? You see, these things that when they didn't teach you in the beginning of your relationship.
Okay.
You see, when you are familiar with the streets and relationships, right? The real G's know. Not that I didn't do this, by the way, guys. I'm very spontaneous. I don't plan things like this. So, disclaimer, it's not me. Lami, I hear from people, right? When you ask a girl to be your girlfriend, you must factor all these things, right? Has her birthday passed? When is her birthday? When do you want your anniversary to be? Do you want your anniversary to be, in the winter months, in the summer months? Do you think generally during that time you have money? What does your life look like in the grander scheme of things? Yabo? So you must plan these things. I literally had a chat with the other day with a friend of mine. I won't mention his name. He's like, he recently met this girl. He really likes her, but her birthday's soon. So,
Oh man, I see where this is going.
so it's like, now I'll let it pass so that, got no. Because obviously, once you're boyfriend during the birthday, you've not
Yeah,
got
now you have to
obligations.
Yeah, if you're not
You
the
have to do
boyfriend, you
things.
could literally buy a book and she'll be like, "Oh, thanks." Anything that you do is great because there's no expectation.
Dude, even the fact that you remembered the birthday
Exactly.
in itself.
Exactly. Everything you do is just cute because there's no expectation, from that. So no, I definitely believe in strategy. This is just the problem is that it's the it's the only relationship where I've had these type of issues before. But unfortunately, it's one of those things you can't say I've learned because there's no more reverse gear. In other situations, you still
Like
dating,
template.
you can be like, you know what, for the next hand, nah, I'm not gonna do this. But there is no so when's so it's just, unfortunately, we just gotta go with it. The great thing is that my birthday is at the end of it, so it's the end from tomorrow until the end of August is about me again. So I'm like, all right, cool, I can work with that. I can definitely work with that. Me, I just want my presents, my cake, and I'm good to go. I don't ask for a lot. I'm a very simple guy.
You're not vexed.
I'm not vexed at all. I'm chilled. But otherwise, Mr. Moy, we have a couple things to get into because, as we hinted, you know what? We're here for a good time, not a long time. There was a screenshot that was going around. Not a screenshot, but a girl. I think her name is like Esona or something like that. I have to look for the screenshot.
I remember it. I think I remember it by head
sponsorship.
because I was flabbergasted.
All I have, yes, I found it now. I found it. All I have to say is Weleleee.
Weleleee.
Weleleee. That's all I can. I mean, that should be the title of this episode. But yeah. So
Weleleee.
I think I assume her name is Esona Sekeleni, I think, or maybe that's the name of the school. But apparently, yes, I think her name is Esona. I'm sure about that. She's probably somewhere between grade 1 to 5, and I'm assuming it's her mom posted Uti. There's funding needed for a class trip to Portugal, and those are some of those
swimming
things
trip.
Oh, it's a swimming trip. Okay, yeah. So it's a thing where. Again, for me, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. The mother's trying to crowdfund and so that the kid doesn't get left behind. I'm like, it's cool. The problem started when the itemizing, and this, how wild it is for me to say this statement. The problem started when things looked worse than list yellow water. These wild lists for water that come up. This looked worse, and I'm just there like, yo, this is a bit much. So, to Akona for the flights to Portugal, I'm assuming South Africa to Portugal, 50,000 rand.
Yeah,
for the flights. What kind of flights are these? 50K to Portugal. Is this business class? Is this this is long, bro. 10,000 dirhams. It's over 10,000.
So I guess it's a flight to and back.
No, but still, bro. That's a span. No, I think it's grossly.
No, it is a span.
We'll mark up. Let me even just quickly Google a JNB to Portugal.
Yeah.
Flights. Yeah, I'm seeing flights here for 3,000 dirhams. So about 16,000 rand. 15 to 50. Let's say 15 to 20,000 rand, depending on where you're going in Portugal. But to the capital, about 15,000 rand are the flights. So again.
Okay, so that's so. In what she would then say was that she then has to travel with Esona. So whatever it is, it's double for the
okay, fine.
Well,
That's still 30K. That's still 30K, right? I still got 50,500. Accommodation 25,000 rand. Says Lala, how many days is this trip? Visa 5,200. Okay, visa as well 5,200. I can see how maybe it could
Yes.
cost that much.
It's the one next to the visa that killed me.
Flights for the visa. So now we're talking about local flights in South Africa, right? Local, from wherever she might be to Johannesburg or Cape Town, depending on where the embassy might be.
Yeah, so I think she's in the Eastern Cape, so probably flying from like
10,000.
East London or something.
10,500 rand flights for the visa. Local accommodation 4.5. Again, guys, we are there for one night if you're going for a visa. I saw 5-night extravaganza. And then registration for the race 2.5.
And do you apply for it and then you
No,
wait?
you
wait
submit.
until it's done.
First of all, it's probably even a VFS thing, bro. So you submit your documents and they mail it to you. They'll mail you the Lokuzen. So, unacceptable. What do we have here? Local transport in Portugal, 5,000. Petty cash.
Yeah.
Yo, petty cash, guys. Petty cash. 20,000 rand. Petty cash. 20,000 rand.
Yeah.
Mina budget yami yenyanga is not even I'm not spending 20K as petty cash, bro. Like that's someone's salary. And then food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, it's like 35,000 rand. Guys, are we eating? What's that? The expensive thing. Try it, man. Is it calamari? No, it's not calamari.
There's oysters and shrimp and
No, there's caviar. There we go. Yes.
Oh, caviar.
Yeah.
Ugh, overrated and very expensive.
It's so expensive. Remember when I went to the address, there was a caviar for 15,000 dirhams, dog. 15,000 dirhams. That's
Miss me with it.
Expensive. Imagine paying 60,000 rand for someone told me it's like fish eggs or something like that. Like I don't even know what the heck it is.
Something like that.
And then entertainment, sightseeing for educational purposes, 20,000 rand. All in all, guys.
Nah,
this trip to
miss
Portugal,
me with that.
Small, 189,000 rands. What? Nah, guys. Nah. In as much as I'd love to help the little girl, and you know what's funny is that what we can juxtapose this with, right? So we helped out with some of the youngsters on the CBC Lokuzen soccer team. And I think the total budget was like 15,000 rand. That's what they needed. 15K. Or at least for 3 kids. At the very least, let's say 3 kids.
For just spending and whatever.
Yeah. And even if it's just 3 kids, 5K each. Okay, yeah, so that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, sharp. For the whole trip, everything that needs to be done. Okay. You know, and that but I don't know, bro. Like that's just all of that stuff was. I think if the whole budget for her whole trip was 50K, okay, we can hear that. We can see how all of these things add up. But even at that, 50K is still a span, you know. So again, it just reiterates the very important point for me, with guys, send your kids to schools where you are financially capable. You know, if you can't afford to send your kid to Portugal, you know, like that can't be. I remember in high school, you know, when I'd moved to Ethiopia, we'd go on these trips for these international tournaments for basketball, you know, and go to my mom, like, right, parents, these are the monies for the flights. The accommodation would be hosted by the host athletes, would host us in their cabin, so that wasn't really a big deal. But like, yeah, just flights money, petty cash, and 1 or 2 other things. But like, and then they'd send the parents an email, you need $2,000, for the kids, or whatever it is, and then my mom would go ahead and she'd pay. But now imagine, I would be so pissed because obviously I don't understand. I don't see her salary. I don't, there's so many things that I don't understand. So as a kid, as a dumb kid, I would look at my mom if she didn't want to pay. And
you're just like,
Chief, what's going on? You should be able to pay for
what's
this
going
thing. Like as a kid, that's just, you're not wired in a way to be like, oh no, you see, yeah, no, my mom can't do this or my dad can't do this. Like for me, I'm like, nah, chief. If you're gonna put me in this school, you need to, you know, it's like buying a Mercedes or a BMW or whatever. You
And
don't
then not
just
have the money to service it.
exactly. You don't just buy it. Okay, the purchase price was 500,000 rand, but there's everything else that comes with it, the maintenance, all these things, you know, that you have to think about. So if you can't afford to maintain a Mercedes, then get something else that you can maintain. You know, that's kind of where I am with with schools. Don't just be like, I sent him to the best school, because there's so much trauma that you're setting up your kid for when they see 90% of their classmates going on trips and all this other
Doing
shit.
something, and when I are just chilling.
Exactly. I mean, but what do you think, Mr. Moy? Do you think I'm wrong, or are you with me?
No, so when the thing came up, right, when she posted, when I saw the initial post, because I think it was now being reposted from Facebook to Twitter. So in my mind, I was on some, hey, you know, help Mdanamun to go to Portugal, go swim, like go fulfill your dreams, because there's a lot of, we always talk about a lot of talent in Africa that's untapped, and people don't don't get a platform. It's not funded, and people don't have a platform to go into these things, right? And then we'll cry, you know, when we only see Lewis Hamilton as the only Formula One driver, and we're like, but where are the black people? Maybe they were there, right? But which they just didn't have the funds to pursue the passion. I think what when I started going through the amounts, there were times I'm like, oh, okay, fine, okay, accommodation 25,000. I see, parented a child in Europe. I'll give you that. Maybe I'll give you that, depending on how long you're staying. I'll give you that. You know, I'm sure it's corner. And that's the thing, right? What I'm actually coming to, and I looked at the visa cost, right? 5.2. Okay. Yeah. You know what? It's okay. Yeah, flights for the visa from East London, I was like, you know what? You don't. Ogunye, here's the thing, right? Ogunye, when I'm coming to Tabo, right? And Tabo, I need you to lend me. Let's say I'm asking for $100, right? I'm like, yo, Maps, square me $100, right? And you're like, okay, so now what do you need it for? And I'm like, no, I've got this thing I need to take care of. It's very urgent. It's a family thing. I need to go to Joburg and come back to Cape Town, right? Bese, they're like, I know, okay, so $100 ngeyani, because you can book a bus for $20, right? This is where I'm coming to. It's like, we must now be like, okay, I know I'm asking for help, but let me also, where I can mitigate. Yeah. You know, then you don't come with figures like this, you know, where it's like flights for visa, 10,500. Dude, to travel to Joburg from Cape Town and back for me by myself, it doesn't cost that much. It can't, right? Or me and a partner.
From Cape Town to Joburg is literally, I think I paid, you can pay 2 to 3.
We're looking at 3,000 rand per person. Yeah. 3,000 rand per person on a good day. So I'm like, okay, Ogunya, you mitigate. You say, no, we'll take a bus to Joburg. You know, we'll drive to Joburg. It's cheaper from the Eastern Cape, whatever. But once it comes in like this, right, people are always going to look at it with apprehension, like you're trying to hustle. And it doesn't help.
Look like idiot to you.
Oguti, yeah, like you're taking us for fool. It doesn't help, Oguti. She has people's salaries there as petty cash. Like, say I can really petty cash 20,000. Food,
at
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 35,000. Are you eating?
Lie and put it under some other shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't put petty cash as like, you know, again, like faggot 2,000 or something. Like, you know, make it realistic. You know, it's just
like if you say race registration, the registration for the race is 2.5, right?
Yeah.
Which I guess is reasonable. I'm not sure.
You see, they could have made that like a higher figure, because now I'll be like, really, how much is the race registration? I don't have access to that information.
I won't even know.
Yeah.
Who knows, bruh? Who knows? But then once it's petty cash 20,000, food, breakfast 35,000. So the petty cash and the food and breakfast, it can't. why is that separate? Because that's 55,000 in total, right, for petty cash and food. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so petty cash ngayani, if food is already covered in the 35k,
Exactly.
and entertainment is already covered in the 20k. So what's the cash is angas, or at least someone made the point ukuthi, you know, it might be a visa requirement to show that you have that much money. So maybe she inflated the cost so that she gets the money, and then she can. But then I'm like, if you're invited to compete in a tournament, usually a letter suffices.
Yeah.
And then they just need to see your booked flights, with your flight in and your flight out. You're not going to after your tournament exactly, and your accommodation. Local gunye 8.
Yeah. No, it's long. Also, you just reminded me of something. We need to have a discussion like next week or something. There was a tweet that was talking about, this lady did a fantastic thread. I hope I bookmarked it. Talking about how it's really unfair on Africa as a continent, how much the European countries specifically, as well as North America, make on visa fees, like per year, how much they make on us.
It's insane.
Crazy, dog.
It's insane.
Especially for the rate of people that
big
get
monies.
denied. Dude, like we're literally providing a good like 50 million or whatever dollars for each of these countries.
Yeah,
it's wild, bro. Like it's actually something that
no, it's insane, dog.
Pissed me off. And you know, like for the UK, Alhamba as a student, South Africa, Nigeria, and I think Zim are not considered majority English speaking countries. So they make you do like a TOEFL.
So you have to do that,
or an IELTS exam.
Oh yeah, that language thing.
And I'm like, what kind of disrespect is it? You motherfuckers colonized us. And then so but the level of English lapo we need to verify. Like, dog. And then an IELTS exam probably costs you like $100.
It's silly.
Going to them. It's the way they've set up some of
no, it's a lot of money.
I don't know how these things are tolerated, bro. I mean, I'm president right? Because it's honestly a slap in the face to be like,
but yeah, it's like bargaining power.
Zim is not a majority English speaking country. Nah, guys, come on. Like I'll a difference between us and freaking Togo or Senegal, where those or any other francophone country, Gambia or some shit like that. It's like, bro, there's a huge difference. Right?
Yeah.
Because those schools, like, they even teach.
I think what was funny, I think there were times when you could be exempt from the English test if you had your Cambridge results, right? Yeah. But anything else, they just didn't want to recognize, and you had to pay the fee and do that silly exam.
Of which,
and I remember when I was
based on the Cambridge.
It's the same thing. Yeah. It's exact same thing. Zimsek might even be harder in certain respects. It probably is. And in my head, I'm just like, I was in, what year was this? There was 6 upper 6 when you start applying to like universities, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so obviously when you're still in school, you're casting your net wide, right? And I looked at all the American options as well. I looked at all the English, and because you start off with everything, you apply everywhere. Yeah. And I just remember the cost of one. I'm not sure if you had this, but we had this thing by the public library in Blues where if you wanted to go to the States, you'd go there and then they'd help you out with your applications and your essays. And because I think in America you need these motivational letters and you have to do your SATs and ACTs and all the stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And they'd help you. And I think a lot of people spent a lot of money on all those things alone, and we don't even talk about the cost of transport to go to the public library every day and work on that stuff. And then I think you have to pay them a certain fee so that they handle it for you. So there's that fee, then there's the application fee for each university that you apply to. I think there's a fee that you pay, and it's usually $50 you haven't said anything, $50 to $100. This school in America wants the money from you, right? Mm-hmm. And this is before they've done anything. It's non-refundable. Yeah. And I'm thinking of how many of us were applying from everywhere in the world to these colleges, sending $100 at a time. Dirt. Boom, 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 boom. Like, yeah, what a difficult. And money's being made, dog. Money's being charged via our desperation.
At a government level, it's actually shocking, and it really annoys me. Ukuthi, at least Ngakutwa it's a given. Ukuthi no umuntu uyatholi visa, right? For those cases, sharp. Okay, fine. Your charges are your charges, right? Like for example, if you want to get a visa to the UAE, right, for a tourist visa, it's gonna cost you about $120. But no one ever gets rejected unless like you're a criminal here. So we'll tell you, hey, I want to come to Dubai, whatever. Like, okay, sharp. If you've got 120, go to a travel agent, book so tele. Like literally, you get a visa for here in like a week, right? So simple, so straightforward. To me, that's how it should be, right? If I'm gonna spend that $100, like unless I'm a criminal and I'm in illegal activities, then obviously that's shaky. But for a normal person to go to America, no, sorry, you don't qualify. Like, but we're gonna take your 160. Like, chief, like that. The rate at which they deny people is what pisses me off. That's where my thing is, like, because that's where they make their actual money. For approvals, it'll be like, okay, yeah, this is standard because a lot of countries do this. But yeah.
So they'll argue that it's for the labor, right? The labor of processing the application. Someone has to pick it up and read it. They have to make sure that the application room, like I know VFS is the VFS fees, right, that they make from people applying to stay in the country for visas and whatever.
Yeah.
VFS I think charges now 1,250 if I'm not mistaken.
But at least
just
I don't know how if VFS your EN is. To at least when you bring documents, the guy will actually check. No, lay the problem. Yeah, give us this. You know what I mean? Like
they do that.
A service. But
they do that.
For the
they
US,
do that now.
Bruh, you pull up to the embassy and the owner asks you like 3-4 questions and then they're like, sorry, we can't give you the visa. Like what? You couldn't like look through an application and then just reject me before even coming here? Like that to me is like peak, like, nah, bro, you guys are not serious.
Wait, so do they give you grounds for rejecting you?
Like they've got a long act, whatever, subsection, whatever. It's a whole paragraph. So you don't actually know. But like it's a whole like, okay, under this paragraph you did one of these things wrong, type of thing. So it's like asking her hand, why did you dump me? And then she gives you a statement that says, well, it could have been your attitude, it could have been the fact that you were late in texting, it could have been the fact that you're under 6 foot, it could have been the fact that you're not that rich, it could have been this, could have been that. So now you're like, if someone asks you, Senna, why did you get dumped? You're like, well, it's one of these reasons. That's literally what they give. And if you ask what is the reason, they say we can't tell you, but it's one of those on the paper. And it's like, dog, like this is a money.
No, but you should be given reasons.
I know, again,
you should be given reasons. Like I think that feels more
to the carpet. That's the problem. They're moving.
Okay, hectic. I've always felt South Africa was because South Africa has become very strict, right? In terms of how they grant like work visas and the likes, right? The only visa that's easy to get now is a study permit.
Yeah.
And that's also because they're taking your money.
Yeah.
But in most instances, I found that they give you reasons, right? So if you say, no, we're not satisfied that you comply with all the requirements for a work permit, or we don't believe that your skill is a critical skill, and they knock it back. Or please or you can even appeal, right? You can even appeal and say, hey, no, look, I appeal, and then they can listen to the appeal and then reissue if necessary.
But that's proper.
But for the most part, that's the proper approach. So I'm surprised.
They don't give a fuck, bro, because it's like asling. Like when you have hella days and you're in your
and that's where
and someone's acting shy for you, you'll be like, bro, I'm going, right? Or you could be intentionally.
That's where the bargaining
to said girl,
chips are.
And she goes, hey, Senna, why are you being rude to me? And you're like, bro, I'm going. Is that type of energy that they have, where it's like, bro, come on, like, give people a genuine chance. And if they don't have a genuine chance, my issue is that someone will hustle for that 160 and they have no chance of making it, like to the US or whatever. You should pre-deny those applications. No, don't even bother coming for the interview. Save your money, dog. Really, it doesn't meet requirements. Like with the way we are with technology, you can get bots that are already screening out. Based on your DS-160, you have a low probability of getting the visa. And then if the person goes, no, Oksala, I still want to go, then okay, you can ethically take their money. But don't surprise Umuntu on the day and be like, sorry. I think that's where,
Yeah.
But again, obviously our leaders were not gonna step up and call these zones out because it really is ridiculous. But anyway, before I get too emotional about that, I want to get you emotional, Mr. Moy, before we wrap this thing up. And we're gonna talk about my faves, Manchester United. I watched that game, and oh man, the joy! I've been watching Stranger Things for the first time. Right, I decided, you know what, I've heard enough good things about it. One of my colleagues at work, she said, no, Villa, you must watch. It's awesome. Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, well, all right.
Would you recommend I watch it as well?
It's like, so it's not horror, right? But it's definitely suspense, thriller, sci-fi, with horror elements.
Okay.
But it's not straight up like you're gonna have nightmares.
Which streaming platform?
It's on Netflix. It's on
Netflix.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 seasons on Netflix. It's pretty good. It's pretty, like, I really, really like it. It's a slow burn. I didn't like the first 4 episodes. I was kind of like, bruh, this is what you people are busy shouting about. But like by episode 5, I was like, okay, I'm down. So I think it's definitely
Okay.
It's great script. It's a great show. But anyway, so I'm watching Stranger Things. I'm chilling.
I'll give it a
on the
watch.
couch, and the United game is about to start, and I'm just like, do I want to watch this game? Like, it's United and Brighton. Like, it's an easy 3 points, and Senna and Co are gonna be on some United Ten Hag era, because there was already the hype on like the WhatsApp group chats and all that shit. Like, our football chat was already popping. The Man U guys were talking shit and all this other stuff, right? Yeah,
I think you need to let me into your WhatsApp group where I discipline people.
I think come through. I'll tell them to add you. But like,
Because what did I tweet?
there was
It's something I tweeted before the game,
when the lineups came out.
right? The lineups came out, and there's a tweet that I put out.
you said, God
I'm
help
sure you
us all.
remember.
No,
'Cause
So
I
saw-
knew.
no, but I will be fair. A few people in the group, like Panache and I think another guy, they clocked when the team sheet came out. That's when all the excitement kind of came down, because it was like, hey, McTominay, hey, Zwanibani. And then, so for me watching the game, it was, I didn't really read the group chat. I wasn't that interested to read everything that they're saying, because again, United is not my team. So I sat there and I was like, okay, fine, let me give this game the first half. And then if it's whack, I'm going to switch back to Stranger Things. Lo and behold, Jiggy Tunya by halftime. I was like, no, we're within. We are within. It was funny. But anyway, Mr. Moyo, with that introduction, take it away. How do you feel?
To be honest,
Ten Hag era.
It's
Consistency kings, man. I love it.
but here's the thing, right? Would you then believe me if I say it doesn't matter who the manager is, right? It could have been Solskjaer, it could have been Rangnick.
Yeah.
Irrespective of how much money's been spent, money aside, you look at that squad of players, and you're very I look at the first 11 and I'm underwhelmed. Like I literally player for player.
When I saw Rashford
I look at it
starting,
and I'm like,
really? No.
you look at it, right? And you say, put aside the fact that Rashford is on 200k a week. Put aside the fact that he wears the number 10. Put aside the fact that he had one decent half season where he looked like he could be the next CR7.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very average player there, right?
Nah, but I think you failed your young players. Rashford, Martial.
Fair
a couple
enough.
Others. I think you guys, there was a time when like the guys are on top of their game, and that was the opportunity to really invest. But the problem with the changes in coaches and the changes
Only
in
a season
things,
where he finished second.
I think the momentum died, and then now you started benching Rashford, you started benching Martial. So like for young players, that's kryptonite. They need game time. They need to develop. They need to be given
True.
consistent game time. But I think
But what I think,
they're going to be like Welbeck
No,
and your other guys very, very soon.
maybe. But I feel like it's a combination of a lot of things, right? So one is the fee. So a lot of these guys have huge fees, and then they think they've arrived. So you think you're at United, you've made it, right? So just because I'm there, I sing fee, I'm the ish. No, you still need to work on your game, right?
Yeah.
Like as Fred, you can't still be giving the ball away 5 times in the first half. Like, it kills the momentum of your game. Like, there's nothing more frustrating than watching Fred play the deep lying midfielder, because he just gives it away in dangerous positioning. It's just there like, yo. Then you got McTominay,
counters on in his
who's also average, right? Yeah, like his yellow card, he was literally chasing his first touch. So there's things like that where you're like, I always say Liverpool, what Liverpool did right. So Klopp, I think he figured this out early, right? The key to anything, you can have weaklings in your team, but if the spine of your team is fine, are you okay? So if you have a good goalkeeper, a good centre back, a good central midfielders, and a forward who can get you 20 goals a season, you're sorted. And he has that. He has Salah, he has Fabinho, he's got Van Dijk, Alisson. Then everyone else around it can interchange, and they can develop their games. But as long as your core is strong, you're fine. Doesn't matter who coaches United. You can bring Pep himself. Some of these players have reached their limit, right? McTominay, there's nothing beyond this. He's 26 this year, I think. It can't go further. Fred is 29. It can't go further than this. Rashford, there's room to say he could improve, but I think the English the English hype train has made him more than he is.
I think so. I don't see it. I really don't see it for Rashford. You know,
but we're in for
it's late for you, Inspire.
That's the other own threw us under the bus. I went like Greenwood. I think
he had so much potential, man. You know, there's nothing that
he has so much potential, and
then when players do that. So look, I'll give you one quick example. In the NBA, there's a young player named, I think his name is Miles Bridges. There's two Bridges, but it's either Miles or I forget the other name. But anyway, his last name is Bridges, and he plays for the Charlotte Hornets. This guy had an incredible season, right? This past season, incredible season, and I think he was just about to get he was in a contract year, so contract is expiring this summer or something along those lines, and he was due to get paid. So because of the season that he had, all the pundits, any basketball fan will tell you he's in line for a huge payday. And the unique thing about basketball is that your money, the guaranteed money in an NBA contract is so much. Like, it's a lot, right? So they'll tell you your contract for 4 years is worth, 200 million or something like that, and guarantee, 150 of it or some crazy shit like that. So everyone knows, Miles is about to get this back, right? Totally over when the season now ends. There's now allegations of him. I think he it was domestic violence with like his girlfriend or some hun.
Oh shit!
And I'm just like, bruh, like, you had the bag staring at you, my guy. It's staring at you. All you have to do.
Why are you being stupid?
Is just ball. Don't do no dumb shit. Don't do no dumb shit. And it's like, these niggas, I don't know. I honestly, because again, I've never been in that situation where, I'm an NBA star or whatever. But I'm like, bruh, what leads you to put hands on a hand where it's like, you're an NBA star? All the hands want to put their hands on you.
Yeah.
Fam. Like, you don't even have to do shit. Like, how do you get to that point? And it's just to sacrifice millions of dollars. Like, you look at your family right now. It's literally almost like that. So it's like, okay, you might come from a middle class family or low class or whatever, but like, you're walking and into
the money will make a difference.
That will change your family forever. Lindo and Co would never ever work ever, bruh, ever. And then
I don't know about that.
It up. Like, no. It's, trust me, Senna. It's so much money that you know how much money you have to have for you to openly look at your whole family, cousins and all. I'm like, Nancy, man. Like, that's a lot of money for you to have. For you to just be like, Kazo, I 10,000. That's a lot of money. And you throw it away, dog, and you're potentially even going to prison, depending on how this thing goes legally. But like, we know the bag is gone. Whether you go to jail or not, the bag is gone. That 200 million,
it's gone.
The team is now probably going to give you like 50 and say, listen, you've got an image issue. We might even lose sponsors by giving you this bag. So you know how woke Twitter will make sure that he doesn't get his bag. So I don't understand when
no, of course.
World and even Partey is. I don't know if that shit about Thomas Partey was true or not, but if it is, like, bro, why, bruh? Like, why?
I think it's a power thing, but
It's crazy.
It's a power thing, but also some of these guys are very talented, but also flawed as people. So we look at them play, we don't know what they are behind the scenes, right? We don't know that Greenwood was, the rapist that he is. But in any event,
so you scheme motivate those things you can't get it out of your system, no matter what yeah, talented and whatever. If it's in you, type of thing.
no, if it's in you, it's in you. Like your talent won't change who you are as a person, right? In fact, what it does, it makes you more vulnerable because you're in the spotlight. And then that's when you can easily get caught for doing these things. Whereas I'm sure there's people like this in the communities that we just don't know about because they're not famous, right? They do their things.
I know it's there, right? Trust me, I know there's a bunch of guys who, like GBV and all that other shit. Like we get that it exists. What I'm saying is those guys, for lack of phrasing it in a better way, they have got, they don't have a lot to lose, right? In terms of, okay, fine,
yes.
I was working a job and this and that. I've gone to jail. No one is really.
You lose your freedom, but
yeah, no one is really stressed about me like that. Though the world is gonna keep spinning. No one in my family was like, oh my god, Tao was in jail. So you know what I mean? Like it's different. Where now we're talking about millionaires.
But
million. It's
clearly not a deterrent, right? But it's clearly not a deterrent for these people, right? Maybe money is not everything. You look, even if you look through history, right? All the controversial people who've done fucked up shit, it is the richest and most powerful that you've had. Or Johnny Depp, when he was in there and him and his hand were abusing each other. Chief, you're literally star of Pirates of the Caribbean. You don't need, like,
he was vindicated. Or am I wrong?
Well, he was vindicated in the sense that she alleged abuse and she subsequently couldn't prove it. And then there were elements where she then
I know Johnny
staged
Depp had some wrongdoing as well. Like
yes,
like he wasn't
so
like it was a complete.
What then happened is
sort of relationship.
There was an instance where I think she tried to frame him.
Yeah.
And then she also bullied him. There was proof of her bullying him, and then saying that she'll go tell people, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and no one will believe him.
You. Hey, bro, that's wild. You know how much? And the thing is, like, bro, now you're fucking shit up because there's.
And she's also got a lot of money, bro. She starred in freaking Aquaman.
Yeah, no, she's got back, but Johnny Depp was the biggest star. Like he was making the.
Of
back,
course.
The back at the end of the day, but like, I don't know, bro. I don't, that stuff just. I'm like,
all I'm saying is.
Give me an opportunity to make millions, guys.
Money doesn't change.
Change every day, yeah, guys.
You'll be a saint.
Nah. Like, there's no way. There's absolutely, like, literally, you can.
It doesn't.
Jet, go to an island and just be away from people. Like, nah, guys. Like, let's not sacrifice this bag.
No, but to you, at the moment, it seems like it's a lot. For these guys, the bag is just. The bag,
no,
right?
But so, like, these ones are coming from like some of the worst backgrounds. Some of these guys, right? It's not like my dad was rich and whatever. Like these ones, they remember. They're not. It's not like back in the day we had no money. It's literally 5 years ago we had
like
no money. Like literally, dog. Like,
and when you're upcoming, it's last
in
week.
High school, it would have been over for the family. It's those type of vibes for some of these guys. And I'm like, how do you have such a short memory? You become a millionaire for 3-4 years and then it's crazy nonsense. No, guys. Like you want to go back to that shit? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's mental health experts who can explain to us and add us and be like, no, gunje. The same hands who tweet about anti-blackness and whatever, they'll start telling us about how, colonialism has done this to the black man and going. And it's like, okay, fine. But I do genuinely want to know, Uguti, what's it? Because again, it is not
sometimes
a black and white thing. Everybody fucks up. Like there's white guys who fuck up.
Sometimes I do think money I think money can make your problems worse. Generally, like if you have an underlying issue, money will bring it to the surface because now you're unhinged, right? Maybe poverty was preventing you from being. Maybe poverty denied you access to women, so you couldn't abuse them.
I see. Ah, that's wild. Actually, that's actually.
Yeah, do you now Sulemali, and you can get all the things that you want, right? Now you can do what R. Kelly did and invite girls to come live, underage girls come live in your house. Without money, you can't do that shit.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot harder. It's definitely a lot harder if you're not a pop star or whatever, who's pulling up to your house.
Hey,
for the why.
But to answer your question, the United starting 11, back to what we're actually talking about,
yes,
is on paper this season worse than it was last season. And there's an acceptance of what last season was our worst ever season. We weren't too far from fourth, but last season was still our worst ever season, right? So there was an expectation with, right, guys, you clearly see there's a problem. Also, we've let Matic go, we've let Mata go, we've let Pogba go, and Teles, and a couple, and we lost Greenwood, right? We should count Greenwood because he's also one who we lost last season. Those are 5 players who could potentially make a case to start. All gone, none replaced. Maybe Malacia comes in for Teles, but
why didn't you guys put in for
in essence,
you have the money for it.
He wouldn't come. I don't think he'd come to United. There's no UCL. On top of that, we've got the Ronaldo problem.
Right.
So there's that on top of it. So Mina, I'm just there like, how are we starting with the exact same 11 that led us to 6th? With 2 different managers, right? New manager, bounce. He's not a magician. Even Pep, when he got to City, remember Pep's first season? I think they finished like 3rd or 4th. They finished like 3rd.
Yeah, it was a bit rough. It was underwhelming, rather. It was.
Do you know that he sold, in those 2 years, I think he sold 10 players. All of them, he told them 4 of Clichy, Sanya, all of them. He was like, hi. And then he got his own boys in, spent a lot of money. And United seem to coast thinking that we'll find the next Ferguson who will just make it happen. No.
Yeah.
Ferguson and Wenger.
United used to do what Barcelona did this summer. I don't know where they got the money, but they recruited, bruh. Barca
basically said, you, let's say, Mr. Maps, you're going to have a child who will be in the NBA and will make 20 million. Barca basically said, give us 20 million to spend now, and then when my son makes the NBA, you'll take that money. They just leveraged their whole future.
Yeah.
Literally, that's how they got the money to do this now. And that's how they have the money, right? They leveraged their future earnings to get money now, and then they're like, we'll just get success now, then we'll be back, and then we'll sort you out later.
You know what? Let me try that, actually. When I have a kid, I'll be like, guys, this kid's going to the NBA. It's only 20 million.
Give me money now.
And then tell it, nigga, that's wild. Some of the things that, and it's the thing, some of the people that really, really rich people or really, really moneyed up corporations can get away with. Like, you're like, bro, this is not right. Like, you can't, because you just reminded me about how Elon Musk bought Twitter, because apparently he used stock to buy Twitter, like use his stocks and whatever to buy Twitter. And normally you're not allowed to do that because it's not a liquid asset, and the value of it is not stable. So the value could go up, it could go down. So generally, trying deals, you can't really use them like that. But Elon was able to leverage the stock of his company in order to buy Twitter, to get the loan from the bank, to be like, no, don't worry, I'm good for the money. Look at the valuation of my company, Tesla is this much.
Whoa.
Yeah, boy. And then it's like, how can you get a loan based on that? You know what I mean? Like, I could be like, yeah, no, credit loan. Look at me. It looks like I'll be promoted next month. So my income is gonna be this. So chuck me the loan. Like, I don't know, man. And then the bank is like, yeah, sure.
The funny thing,
44 billion. What?
Yes, 40 billion.
That's
the funny thing is, the way Barcelona are moving now is literally, so they've got this arrogance as if we don't know what they did to get the money, right? So it's got this, no, we're back. Chief, that's like me going to get a squarete, then going to Gucci, spending, and saying, guys, me rich. No, you still got problems.
But technically you are, because, you've got 2 million in your account. You've got 2 million in your.
Until they come knocking.
They look good.
In 5 years.
They look good. They look good. I won't lie. I'm a bit bang of Barcelona at the moment. I think they're even better than Madrid right now, based on who they've been able to.
But recruit. They do need to sell, so it'll be interesting to see.
Hopefully we can get Frankie and we'll take Pierre. Actually, we'll take Pierre. Let's see how that, because last year they got all rejects, bro. Or Memphis, like it was sad. Memphis, Aubameyang, like the players that they were recruiting. I was like, damn, things are that bad. You know, this summer is more for Barcelona.
But it was worse before then.
Yeah, but that did the season before Messi went out, so it was still decent, right? And they still had a few guys who were, you know, long in the tooth. So they still looked kind of a bit like, but once Messi left, that's when you saw it. Right, there's really nothing here, bro. It's like my tumble pit.
This is really nothing here.
You guys are playing Brentford this weekend. Score prediction?
I don't even know, bro. All I know.
Give me a prediction.
All I know is, I think they'll win 1-0. No, United doesn't win 1-0. They'll win 2-1.
Yeah, away.
They'll win 2-1. They're actually better away from home than we are at Old Trafford.
We're playing Spurs. The worst time to be playing Spurs, fam. I don't think we're ready. I think
that's going to be interesting. That's going to be, because I want to see how good I want to see how good they are this year.
Yeah, no.
But anyways, I've decided.
The full summer
is it? Ish. This is the first time I went into the first week of fantasy and said no United players, right? Because obviously when you start a fantasy season, you're always trying to be like, let me just get 1 or 2 from the team I support, right? So that there's someone that I can, because you get the points for fantasy, then you also get the points for your team doing well. I was like, no, let me not do this, because usually I'd pick De Gea and like.
Oh shit! Is this someone. You at number 1? Hey,
yeah, dog. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Okay, so Senna is number 1 on the 6 foot weights fantasy league, followed closely by Mr. Fez.
I just need to remember to update my thing, because that's when I lose it. Somewhere along the line, I have a Saturday where I do something and then I don't check fantasy.
Guess who's number 8? Guess who's number 8?
Let me see. 8.
Improvement. Siyabonga Ayanda. I know. I love this for her, as the Hans would say. But then now they.
I love this for her.
There's a person I'm looking for who was talking a whole lot of shit. Europa. Hey, it looks like I'm going to win fantasy this year. She's down at number 20. Ziakala boy. I'm only 7 points behind Europa. So yeah, Ngapaeza, we out here. It was a rough start for me. But
I've realized I must get rid of my United things, because that's I think what's been getting me child. Having United players and then forgetting to update my team. So if I fix those things, I'll see a level boy.
Okay. No, so also one thing that I wanted to report is that the fellas heard us, Mr. Moy. The fellas heard us. So you remember when we crossed 50,000 streams, yeah? We did a deep dive into the numbers.
Yes.
And we pleaded with the men, you know. We had to say, hey, men to men. We need some guys listening on the pod. The men heard us. So we've seen a spike in activity. We were, I think, at 72% female. I'm happy to report we have dropped to 66%. So it's come down a little bit. So we're actually 31% male. We were in the middle 20s somewhere there. And when we reported this, but I'm happy to report that I know the gents are coming. 66 gents, if we can make it maybe end of the year, 50-50, I'll be very happy. I'll be very, very happy. But I don't know. I just wanted to quickly say that before we wrap things up, Mr. Mawuti. Things are trending in the right direction. Patriarchy forever.
No, we give thanks.
And then I don't think I have any Siazamas, but we have something that we forgot. One of our listeners reached out about. Remember, we talked about the women's sports. Look, was in I think 2-3 episodes ago.
Yes.
So
yes,
she jumped into the DMs and she said, "Look, was in. Hey fellas, did you watch the last Olympics in Japan in swimming?" And she thinks also in athletics they did a 4x4 mixed relay, 2 male, 2 females, and they were really entertaining. I didn't see that actually. I didn't know about that, but that's really, dope. I think we even mentioned on that episode, Uguti, it can work for athletics. It can work for a couple of different sports, where you can mix it up, and that's definitely dope. And then she says for women's sports to be seen, for women's sports to be more popular and to be and seen as entertaining, it'll take the spectator psyche. It'll take time because the spectator's psyche sees it as new. As broadcasters are shining more light on female sports, it is gaining in popularity, and young girls are now seeing the possibilities, sporting possibilities they hadn't before. Give it time, before you know it, women will be pulling in bigger crowds. There are many female soccer academies now that are open in the UK, and I just wonder if beach volleyball. I just wonder if women's beach volleyball would be as popular if they weren't wearing bikinis. First of all, yes, it would, because the volleyball in regular volleyball, they wear booty shorts. It's alright with me too. So the viewership is not gonna go.
Are you sure?
From the beach. Nah, trust me. Like, Olympic volleyball is lit. Like, it's, again, the shorts don't have to be so tight. I really don't get it. Like, guys, but anyway, whatever. So then she also said, okay, so this part is more about, what did we say about, we're talking about, so that's the 50K episode, when we were talking about age. Apparently we said some not so nice things about the over 50-year-olds. I don't know, Sena, were you now talking about people's money?
Again?
I don't know what happened. I can't remember. But we talk about, please tell the haters that age is just a number. Old is old does. I may be 50, but physically I'm 34. Mentally, I'm not a day over 27 with more disposable income.
Halala. Yes.
Anyone looking for,
we give thanks.
For for some love, for some sugar mama love, there's advertising here, bro. 27, bro. Mentally 27 with disposable income. That's lit.
We're actually talking about introducing, but we'll talk about it a bit more. But guys, if you are looking for a Ben 10, this is to our older listeners, by the way. If you're looking for someone with whom you want to spend this money on, we can reach out to some of the listeners that we have on the list.
Absolutely.
And we'll just be like, hey,
if you're looking for a young man, let us know. We'll put the word out there. Also, if you're looking for an older man, let us know. We have the demo. We have the demo out there. We have old men who are listening. Bless you. And, I don't know what else they want to do to you. But, Oksalayo is that, we can make those connections. We had someone come into into our DMs and say, hey, fellas, let me even read the message just so they put the word out there so that the fellas know. And then, we might even have this person on the pod to come and, so that it's straight
in
from
person
here, not exactly. Right. Okay, and she's looking for specifically. She says, surely there's a Ndebele man in your crew that you can introduce me to. So, Ndebele men, I hope you're listening. Because we have been paragons of Ndebele manhood. The girlies are just seeing it. Siya chata.
That's where it's at.
Siya nigimali. No, it's like siya bulala. Like, Ndebele men, the stock has never been higher. So she's within. So she says this individual is in Germany for now, but she's looking for something that is casual. It would be nice to have some cuddles in certain area codes. So again, it sounds like she's looking for multiple men. So if you're not even in that country, don't worry. Maybe
I wouldn't put it that way.
No, it sounds like she's got money, so
No,
she's
don't
willing
say
to come and
she's looking
see
for
all her
multiple
hoes.
men.
No, I mean, to me, it sounds like she wants a couple house. I got
You're making it seem like she's trying to build a harem.
in different area codes. You know, like literally, it to me, it read like that. What is she, you know, ufuna baby, baby lapana, you know, and then a local baby. So, hey, gents, if you're down, you know, to be a little
You want to be part of the babies.
yeah, if you want to be part of the yabies, it sounds like, again, it sounds like she's got money. Sounds like she's willing to bless owns. So reach out if you're interested. We'll definitely do something for you. She says that, you know, Dubai is an option. Cape Town and Johannesburg as well. She's going to be traveling to those areas, and then obviously Europe. So American guys, apologies, not yet. The tour is not going that way. Australian guys, apologies again. It doesn't sound like the tour is coming your way for now. It's just the gents in the Middle East, in Europe, and in Southern Africa. You know, send us your CVs. We will forward them to our blesser here, and she will decide on which applicants can, you know. Have you ever jumped in the dating space? What is it called? What is it called, Sen? Dating, yeah, I think it's called dating spaces or something like that. It's like
Is it dating space?
I think, yeah, there's a dating space.
Really?
I forget who runs it. Man.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, it's like, yeah, this. No, people come and like shoot their shot or whatever. Yeah, I actually haven't listened to a proper Lokuzen. I've heard snippets of it, but like people come in, from my understandings, like you come in, you say, hey, I'm Sena, I'm a gym guy, I'm a lawyer, ha 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 ha, you know, and then all the girlies go, ooh, and then someone who says they like you can jump on, can unmute themselves, and then, you know, you guys kind of hit on each other. I think, again, I could be completely wrong, but I think that's how it happens. So it's like every Thursday at like a random hour. I know it's late because like my my wife will be on it, and I'm like, Karich Ulande Nkunap. You know what I mean? Like it's like literally, for me, it's like her bumping into me in a strip club. It's like, Chief, like what's going on here? You know what I mean? So I don't understand.
But she's probably just watching it for the entertainment, you know, right? So it's probably just for the laughs.
I hope so. You know, but yeah, she's, you know, every Thursday I'm like,
it's probably just for the laughs.
Cousin, Hambajan cousin, you know. So but anyway,
damn, still on the dating space.
Bruh, because it's on.
It reminds me.
It's like it's when I'm trying to catch a dose, and it's like,
yeah,
and I'm just hearing random people's voices on spaces.
Yeah, you just made me think of something. We'll chat about this next week actually, because I don't think I want to go into it. It's a clip which I saw. I think it's Kevin Hart. He's chilling with these other guys that like on a podcast. And this one guy, and this guy says, "Oh yeah, no, me and my wife, we like to go to like nude parties and nude beaches and whatever." And Kevin Hart was just like, "Are you guys swinging? What's going on?" Because that's what he was thinking, right? Because that's the only
Wait,
context
told the story
with which
about
he
Big
could
John
see.
or something like that.
Yes, his friend who, yo, I was like, would you recover from that, Tawa, actually?
No, okay, so let's quickly tell the people the story. So long story short, this guy one of Kevin Hart's friends went to like one of these swinging parties, like a sex party where everyone is free to have sex with everyone. I think if I remember it correctly.
And that's because he saw the other guy's wife was hot. And he was like,
yes.
You know?
Yeah, so he was trying to smash the other guy's wife. And then, so obviously, if you're willing to do that, it means you're willing to let your own wife get had by another individual. And apparently, in Big John's case, some other individual, went and did the things to his wife, and he really did the things. Like the wife was just out of control, and it was a really bad idea for Big John. I don't think he ever went back and did it again. But in that type of situation,
Kevin Hart says
it's just
Kevin Hart said Big John was never the same again. It's not necessarily that he never went back. He changed after that that thing as a person.
No. Like, first of all, like there's no way you can let someone do that to you. Like it's like, nah, don't. Like what the fuck? Like that whole and we always say you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You know, that's just a recipe for disaster. A recipe for disaster, fam. Like why would you even put yourself in that situation? But it's a funny story. Look, I don't know what the name of the podcast, unfortunately, but if you just put it in Kevin Hart, I'm sure it'll pop up. Search if you just search Kevin
on
Hart,
YouTube.
if you search Kevin Hart and Ryan Clark, because Ryan Clark is one of the hosts on the podcast. That's who I know. Or say Kevin Hart and Channing. Type those; they should pop up. It'll pop up on YouTube. I still need to watch the full episode, but I know that. Look, I don't recommend doing things like
I'm not married, and it might be a little while before I do, but no matter how slow or boring you guys think that your marriage is, it's not worth it, guys. It's not worth these games.
Yeah,
these things will change.
Buy
you.
a toy, though. Like do something else. Like Nah. To watch? No, absolutely not, fam.
No, well, you're not
like,
watching, right? Because you're also apparently partaking in the other.
Oh, so he was within his things, and then he just heard the acoustics, and it's like, no, Jack.
No, or maybe you're in the same room, right?
No, that's even worse, bro. That's even worse. That's it. But again, you need to listen to the way Kevin Hart tells the story.
We can't do it justice.
The delivery was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I'll ask Linda to add it in if she can.
But I have to tell this story. So, Big J Okerson, it's a comedian friend of mine from Philadelphia that I started out with. And Big J went through this period where he was interested in swinging. It's a true story, hand on the Bible. And he convinced his girl to swing, right? He said, we should do it. And he wanted to do it because the other couple that he wanted to do it, the guy's like woman was, he said like she was fucking great looking. Like I want to do it because I can get to her. Like it can be great. And I was like, dude, I said, you taking a gamble. I said, that's a lot. It's aggressive, right? It's not really my cup of tea, but I don't know how people live and I don't knock what people do with their lives because that's your life. Big J said they swung and he watched this guy fuck the dog shit out of his leg. He said, he never bounced back from it. He never bounced back. He saw, I'm telling you, man, I don't know what you think it is. But if you get in there and somebody goddamn go double overtime on your lady, you may not bounce back from that. All right, so you need to think of it all. Motherfucker, think about the first step. You better think about 3, 4, and 5. You see a motherfucker sweat dripping from his head on your lady. Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't want to see
That's
that.
aggressive.
But yeah, Mr. Moyo, I'm out of time. I've even gone over time, but we have to leave it here.
No, we give thanks. We give thanks.
Pop the champagne. I'll be a year older in 2 hours.
Took you a while.
Yeah, no. I'm taking my time, fam. I'm taking my time. Staring 30, in the eyes these days. So I'm good. I'm okay where I am. I'm not in a rush to get older. I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. It's been a fantastic year. So me, I've got no wahala, fam. I've got no wahala. So I'm gonna take tomorrow.
We give
I'm gonna do a little bit of a staycation, have some fun, go to some nice places, and just relax. Relax by the beach.
Okay.
And reflect on life.
No. We give thanks. Hope you have a good one. Thanks for making the time during your week of festivities to join the people.
Yeah, no, I need to finish up some squale after this and, do some last minute work things. I realized that I didn't I didn't turn off my calendar. So people have booked meetings with me for tomorrow and I'm like, yo.
And easy, Pangelani breaks and easy.
Nah, I need to hit him with that. So, it is what it is. I'll talk to you on Monday, fam, because, not on my birthday. Not on my birthday.
Okay.
Phone, my work phone, turning it off. Because, they will, Teams muted, everything off. I'll be offline.
Okay, no, you must do that. It's important to go offline. I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Definitely. But then when the problem is that when you come back and you find out the house is on fire at work, it's like, oh my God, like, can't even have one day. But anyway, Mr. Moyo, it's been good to the listeners. We hope you took one or two things away, namely Senna's pain. But yeah, like the ting, retweet the ting, subscribe to the ting. And if you don't, we're inclined to believe you are a hater. Mr. Moyo.
Laters.